all sorts of interesting things. All right. So we're going to do that. I don't need to add anything else, just a title for now. And then we're going to go hot on the audio. Let's see. My channel. Live now. Copy. And paste.
I might treat myself to a glass of water in a minute.
Hey, yeah, I've got that. I've got two of these things filled. There's one sitting right here on the counter, and there's one right here.
Well, I'll get up in a minute. I'm not quite ready to commit to getting up.
Click and subscribe live right meow. Right meow. All right. Publish. And now I'll share this on my personal page because I got so many more people on that one than this thing. Dude, you'd think that the internet would just be like everything would be transferable, but it's so damn hard to get people from your personal page to click on a page that you manage.
Yeah,
that's so difficult. They're probably sick of seeing it though, because I share the shit out of this stuff all the time. But, yep. All right, post. Now, real quick, like, here you go, James. I got you, homie.
Oh, you're a good man, Kel.
That couch is, I'm telling you, man, that couch is something difficult to get out of once you get in it. I know.
House.
I know. I've trained it well. I have trained it well. All right, so let's get hot on some audio here and give these folks some content. All right, YouTubers, if at any time throughout this excursion you decide you want to save the rest for later, be sure to go to the last 20 seconds of the video and click the links that I'm going to have there for you, please. That being said, let's get some audio here. The first thing that I'm going to do after recording audio is take a giant sip of water and make all this noise in the mic. You listen? That was a good way to start it, right? Brother Andrew Beckwith, Brother Dap, why do they call you that?
All right, so in high school, I had a group of like 6 or 7 friends, and we all used smokeless tobacco, and we came up with some stupid, immature names for each other, like Addictive Aiden, Grizzly Greg, Copenhagen Chase, or Chewin' Chase, Nicotine Nick, Addictive Alan, Grizzly Greg, and mine was Dapper Drew, and for some reason I changed it to my Twitter handle, and it stuck through college. I don't think anyone like that was outside the baseball team for the first year and a half knew my real name because it went around campus as Dap or Dapper.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah,
that kind of
sure.
protects you a little bit. So you don't have to worry about people like Googling you and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to find anything.
It'd be nice at like an Alabama or something like that, like a bigger school. And then you go around and just no one know who you are
Well,
off the field.
you know, Alabama is a place where a lot of people forget a lot of things.
That's true.
Trust me, I know. So you are, for the listeners who are not aware, you were a member of the first ever national championship team to ever come from Coastal for any sport, right?
Yep, any sport.
That is awesome. And dude, nobody around here has ever had any experience like that. Nobody around this area has ever had any sort of like something to call their own, like a championship like that. And it completely changed this entire area when that happened.
Yeah, I think, well, I guess I'm not from Myrtle Beach, but I'm kind of living here now with my fiance. But Hunter Renfro, maybe. Me and Hunter Renfro are probably
Oh, Hunter.
And anybody at Coastal that was on that team, still on the team now. But yeah, it's very, very few.
Yeah, well, and I guess a lot of people do claim the Clemson championships as our own because of Hunter, but you know, man, being an Alabama fan,
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm not too happy about that. But you know, I don't think I'm unhappy about it. It's fine because we're in-state team having a national championship. That's good for. I have a lot of friends who get to brag about this stuff, and plus,
Yeah.
Alabama's won enough, man. We've won enough.
Yeah, in 2016, state of South Carolina had an unbelievable year. Women's
Right.
basketball, men's
Clemson.
basketball made Final Four for South Carolina.
Yeah.
Clemson football. I mean, you can't ask for too much more out of your state sports.
and you guys. But
Yeah.
that was 16 as well, right?
Yeah, 2016.
Goodness, man, I was so stoked. Like, it just means so much more to me that it was a baseball championship because I love baseball.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like that. So from a fan, I would just love to be able to watch a live baseball game every day. Is it different from a player's viewpoint, or do you still enjoy watching the games? Like,
You know, I don't know if I've watched a game since I was admitted into Coastal. I mean, like, I don't know if I've like been to a live game
Yeah.
and just watched the game. Maybe like.
well, I mean, from
'Cause
the from the field, like from the dugout or from the bullpen or wherever.
Well,
you
that's
are.
what I'm saying. I have no idea if. I mean, I couldn't really tell you if there was a big difference because I haven't watched a college game
Yeah.
or professional game live. But I would think it would be different, just because you're on the field and like maybe it means something more because it's your
Yeah.
job, you know. So, like I don't get to sit back and enjoy Miller Lite in the
Yeah, exactly.
third row behind third base dugout. You know what I mean?
It's not ideal. You can't do it like Jimmy does.
Easy, man.
But no, man, that's it's really interesting that you get to do something. Was this always your thing? Was it, or was this something? I know I saw a video that you posted that you were interested in doing the military after baseball. If that was a
Yeah.
if that was a deal, I don't know if that's still in your.
It's still out there. Obviously, my fiance and I talk about it a little bit, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna see where baseball takes me. Hopefully, make a name for myself and earn some quick bucks while I'm at it.
There's nothing in the world wrong with that
No.
at all. And what's interesting is I was gonna ask you this: do you feel like there is, because your pitching style is so unique, and I went to looking back at a lot of other like sidearm pitchers and people who have like done really well, and it's just people have such a hard time hitting sidearm pitches because it's such a you're not used to seeing the ball come from that angle, right?
Yeah, and I guess what's different is the sidearmers in the major leagues, they don't come back over the top as well. So like I do both, so it's kind of different.
Yes.
Now, if like say you're in my division and you see me 4 times in a year, it might be different. But I mean, you're not seeing 2 of the same pitches in an at bat normally.
Now, do you have like sidearm and over the top deliveries for the same pitch, or is it individual? Like certain pitches you only do sidearm and certain pitches you only do over top?
So last year I threw a fastball over the top and a fastball sidearm, and I threw a slider over the top and a slider sidearm. But they move differently. So like the
Yes.
sidearm slider is more of a 3 to 9,
Yeah.
whereas the slider over the top is more of a 1 to 7 or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's what I was. And what's the velocity difference? Do you feel like you lose any velocity going side?
My velocity sidearm last year, I was topping out at 90, 91.
Yeah, that's what I think I read an interview one of my buddies wrote, Ryan Young. Do you remember Ryan Young?
Yeah.
He's a very good friend of
We
mine.
loved him. We missed him my senior year.
Yeah, Ryan's a great guy. He went to work with Florida for a little while, I think, and Ryan's a great dude. And I've known him for a very long time. But I was reading and I was like, man, this looks familiar. And I rolled back at the top to see who wrote it, and I was like, I get it now. But in an interview that he gave, I think one of your coaches, I don't know if it was head coach or pitching coach, was like, man, he's throwing harder now than he was in the beginning. Like, how do you pull that out?
Well, you know what's crazy is I I was probably over the top throughout college. I was 87, anywhere from 87 to 90, 91.
Yeah.
Maybe touching a 2 every now and then towards the latter of my career. And then I got to pro ball, and it was like sitting 89, 90,
Yeah.
91, touching 92 still. But then my sidearm, which in college was 80, anywhere from 84 to 87, trying to touch an 8.
Yeah.
I was sitting 88, 89 this past, or 87, 89 this past season. Touching 90, 91.
That's wild, man.
Isn't that crazy? Like, where does that come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not like I was putting on massive weight or,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of a free, maybe my intent was different on each pitch, but maybe it's because I wasn't throwing as many pitches in a game as I normally would in college. But it kind of came out of nowhere, and I hope to have that this year too.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're going to have anything to worry about, man. It looks like you kind of come into your own in that. Now, have you noticed anything differently that do like coaches or pitching coaches, do they try to like ward you against the sidearm stuff and try to force you to go to a little over?
Well, what I was going to tell you off the podcast, but I wanted to save it because going into pro ball, I kind of talked with my pitching coach. I kind of thought about it, and I was like, well, like what if the Rovers or like GM comes up to me and says, hey, we want you to throw sidearm. We want you to focus only on sidearm.
Yeah.
And like nothing of that sort has happened, and it's kind of been nice. Like guys will get I don't call it special treatment because like obviously we're trying to get better every single day, but pitchers are throwing bullpen / sides before the game, and like the pitching coach is kind of like talking to them like work on this, but like none of my pitching coaches really threw like I did, so they kind of just like let me go, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of nice not having someone on your shoulder every day you're throwing. So I kind of got to do my own thing, and obviously I watched the guys that threw over the top and listened to what the coach had to say, but it's been really nice. Like, and the pitching coach in High A in Wilmington told me at the end of the year, he said, listen, if someone comes up to you and talks to you about only throwing sidearm, like say you go to Double A and the pitching coach is like, hey, you should think about staying sidearm, just tell him, look, I've been doing this a while. You can help me work on my over the top that way, because that's what makes me unique. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't be successful if I only threw sidearm. I'm not saying I wouldn't be successful if I only threw over the top, but throwing both is what has gotten me here.
Yes.
Why not keep doing it? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the one thing is like I was just talking about before we got started playing the show, just MLB the show.
Yeah.
Like when I see a submarine pitcher coming out like it or a sidearm rather, it's just you don't know which way the ball's going. It's almost like you can't tell whether it's moving side to side, whether it's staying still, or it's like it's really hard for a batter to choose where it's going to end up across the plate. And when you're a batter and you see somebody throwing something ridiculous over the arm, and it's like, okay, give me another one of those, and then you get the same pitch from a sidearm, it's like, what are you gonna do? Like,
I think the next step, like understanding how I pitch, is maybe like getting in the box against another sidearm, because I can't get in the box against myself, so it's like maybe get into the box against another sidearm that throws like me, to understand the movement of my pitch from that perspective, because I don't know. I mean, I've thrown with sidearmers before, but it's I'm not getting there 100% where I'm set up behind the plate as a catcher, or I'm not an umpire standing behind the catcher. I'm not the hitter. So I mean, I think understanding the arm slots and the way my pitches move would help me develop more as a pitcher as well too.
Do you feel that it's probably better just go with it? To just do it what feels right?
For me, yeah.
I'm the same way. Like I don't like to do a lot of like with my music and such. I don't like to do a lot of rehearsing or practicing. I just I'm like I'll get there and show up, and if it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it wasn't my day.
Yeah, and I've noticed that with like preparation for games and stuff. Like trainers will give us things to do like that we have to do, and like I understand that and I'll do them. But they also give us things that they recommend for us.
Yes.
But I've developed an awareness of my body, and I'm able to understand what muscles and like joints I need to work on, and the drills that they recommend for me, like I might take something out of it, or I might take one or two of the drills to do.
Yeah.
But if it's not, if I don't feel like it's helping me for a season or for that area that I'm working on, I might stay away from it.
Yeah, if it's not doing you any good, then what's the point?
Yeah.
I like that.
Which is what I think a lot of kids these days don't understand, where people are telling them how to throw.
Yeah.
You can't be told how to throw. It's how your body reacts to your arm movement.
Yeah, you got in that position for a reason.
Yeah, everyone has a different natural arm motion.
Now
There's not a natural arm motion.
That's actually a really good segue into my next question is when you started throwing sidearm, was it somebody that you saw doing that, or was it just like a natural movement that you were like, I want to do this? Or is that just how it came out?
No, I was my sophomore year of high school, and I didn't quite throw hard. I was like 83, 84 over the top as a sophomore in high school, and they were we know you're athletic enough. We know you can hit your spots well enough that we want you to play on varsity in high school as a sophomore. And I was like, okay, well, what are you suggesting? And they were like, well, try and throw sidearm. Like, you throw that way from shortstop, from second. You play infield, like you're athletic enough to do it. And I tried it out, and I liked it. And I think over the years, I've thrown from a higher arm slot. I've thrown from a lower arm slot. The lower I usually go, the slower the pitch is, more movement I get. But, every year I don't think the arm slot is the exact height off the ground that it was the year before. Like, it's what's natural for my body. If I'm more flexible one year, my arm's probably going to be lower because I can get lower.
Yeah.
But it started, my coach had an idea. He
Yeah.
didn't tell me, hey, you have to do this. He said, hey, if you want to play on varsity, you might have a better chance if you throw sidearm. So I said, well, I want to play on varsity. 9 saves later, I was...
Yeah. Now, 9 saves later, how quick did it was instant? Like, that it just, like, you were like, okay, this is going to work. This is my thing.
Yeah, kind of. I tell everyone 2 weeks before, like, we started live pitching to, like, each other.
Yeah.
Which would be probably a month before the season. But I couldn't tell you an exact time frame of when it was before that sophomore season.
That's awesome, though, man.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of you guys out there anymore, man.
No.
I was looking in research for this. I was like trying to figure out how many sidearm pitchers there still are in the league. Man, there's like only a handful.
Yeah, it's what are there, 32 teams? So there's probably, I'd say half of them have one on the major league roster. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you see some throw 1/3 of an inning, 2/3 of an inning every now and then. I mean, you got your Shishak will go a full inning, 2 innings.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
There ain't nobody out there
coming.
throwing complete games.
That's true.
Dude, by the way, that is awesome, by the way, that you were like, no, I want to go back out there.
Yeah, it was the TCU game. Was unbelievable. Well, the thing that helped me was Mike Morrison and Bobby Holmes are telling my head coach that I'm at 103 pitches when I'm really at 115, 120.
Yeah.
And I get to 139. It's like my head coach looks at my pitching coach and like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
Yeah. Now, is that really a big deal for them, especially for a sidearm? Because I mean, you're straining.
Well, it's less stress on my arm, but it's some people it's more stress on their back, which I can understand because they're bending over to throw a ball. But it's like sidearms less stress on my arm, which I think I've talked to a couple other sidearms and they say the same thing.
Yeah.
Just because, like a softball pitcher's, that's a natural. That's an exact natural motion for your arm.
Yeah.
Not an exact natural throwing motion.
Which is probably even harder to locate with those.
Yeah, I would think. But we just got sidetracked. What were we talking about?
Just about your maybe your back or
So like the people are like, oh, you threw 139 pitches. I was like, I mean, technically not. I threw probably 2/3 of my pitches sidearm, and that's probably 50% less strain on my arm and back than an over the top pitch. And that TCU game, I will say that I was throwing like 83 to 85 over the top, just because the wind was blowing in. It's a deep fence in Omaha, and I mean it was working. So why not keep doing it? You know what I mean?
Dude, that's Greg Maddux, man. Dude, Greg Maddux, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. What was his max speed, Jimmy?
88.
He never got the 90s.
Yeah.
He was like 88.
Yeah, see.
He could throw from 71. I mean, he could get it down low, too.
No,
and you
I watched
couldn't
Greg
hit it.
growing up. He was a man.
He could hit a spot from anywhere.
Dude, I just that sort of pitching and that sort of game is what makes baseball great. Like you could get out there and you can throw gas. Anybody can be out there in Aroldis Chapman and just throw gas.
Well,
but you know,
I hate to interrupt. I got a question. So you pitched 139 pitches and you beat TCU.
Yeah.
Didn't y'all get a rain out like in the Arizona series?
Yeah, we got rained out.
So if y'all don't get a rain out, you probably won't pitch the last game.
I probably don't start. I was planning on being long relief, so I was gonna be like the pitcher that comes in after Alex Cunningham. But I don't even know why the coaches switched it, honestly. Because I was fine coming out of the bullpen, but I think I don't know. I mean, it would have worked either way, I think, just because AC threw harder than me. So like you're going from a harder pitcher to a slower pitcher, or a slower pitcher to a harder pitcher. So I don't think it would have mattered. I have no idea why they switched it.
Yeah, Kelsey, I don't know, but I think in the history of the College World Series, he's the only pitcher to go 3-0.
yeah, complete games too,
I
right?
think there's like 5 of us.
Games.
I think there's 5 of us that are 3-0.
I think I saw that stat.
And there's like 3 or 4 that had 2 complete games. Michael Roth was one.
4. I think there was 4 that this throwing complete games. But man, that's unreal. I gotta be honest, man. We were watching this game. I was playing a gig with Cornbread at Captain Archie's in North Myrtle Beach, Little River area, and we were there was an entire bar full of people that was like just going nuts over this like possibility of it happening. And Adam Justice, who his wife was going to be on the podcast in episode 100, he's like an idiot and doesn't know anything about sports, and was like, dude, why is everybody so excited about this? I was like, dude, this is the game. Like, this is it. Like, if they win this game, like, they're bringing trophies to Conway, bro.
Yeah. No, I mean,
like, Jesus.
It's kind of hard to like I tell everyone though, I don't remember anything from those games. Like, I remember for the Florida game, the first complete game, I remember.
They were way home. They were number 1 in the country, right?
Yeah, they were number 1 in the country.
Yeah.
We were the 8 seed or something,
Yeah.
and the only thing like I remember, like I can like vividly remember, was a play that I ran over and Woody Woodall threw it high, and I was covering the bag at first, and like I like torqued my body to like catch it, and then like tag the bag at the same time, and like what people don't understand is you're in that moment, and some people can do it. Some people can like remember what pitch they threw and what count to this hitter, and I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what pitches I threw to anyone in the TCU game, Florida game, or the Arizona game. I was just unconscious.
That's probably the best, though. It seems like that's your thing. That seems like that's like you don't want to get your brain in the way of what you're doing.
Exactly. When I think too much and like.
Same here,
when
man.
I'm looking around, I'm like, dang, that's a lot of fans. Like, I can't get sidetracked like
Same
that.
here, man.
Pitches won't be where I want them to be.
You gotta be alone in the world. Like you're just playing catch. One of your teammates was like, man, he was out there playing catch for 5 innings.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Sidetracked when he stuck that biscuit and repacked the face mask.
Yeah. By the way, awesome job.
You see that video?
Well done.
We need to go and go back and put that video on the YouTube.
Yeah, we'll add some links to that. By the way, the voices that you hear coming from the side of here, brother Jimmy's spectating, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy's actually want to line this up. He told me that you'd be interested in doing this, and I'm obviously very, very stoked that you wanted to do it. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you hooking this up, man.
Yeah, I thought it'd be good for everybody.
I think so too. Dude, Repack had it coming, man. He just had it coming. That's probably the funniest thing that I've seen come out of Tito's in a long time.
Yeah, it didn't happen last year, and they just had a pan. The football helmet was a great idea.
Yeah, the pan was
because then the person like getting hit can see it coming, and
you can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Repacks.
The mic too, Kelsey. After what people don't realize is we had a pan full of biscuits at our Christmas party, and Dad had Repack owed us a tab, and so we made him stand down on the other end of the bar with a football helmet, and Dad threw those biscuits at him as hard as he could. And when we wedged one between his face and his face mask.
That was the best one, man.
We were
Like
all laughing, and we turned back to Dad, and he had dropped the mic. He was like, "I'm done." I don't think you can ever throw again. You can't.
No, I don't know if I can go back. You might have to try someone else.
Yeah, but it's funny.
In a game-worn Denver Broncos helmet.
Yeah.
Of all things. That's interesting, man. So, I like I said, I'm going to keep going back to this. I've played MLB The Show, and I know this is not comparative at all, but when I'm sitting there, like, after I've done and played my little, the spring games or whatever, and like you're showing what you got for these scouts, and you're sitting there waiting to find out, when the phone's going to ring, if it's going to ring or whatnot. What's going through your head at this point when you're like,
for fall ball?
Like when you're waiting to find out, am I going to go to the next level? Is it, when you're going to get there?
I mean, I found out I was going to high A. It was after a game, and we were traveling in low A. I don't know where they were going. I want to say Greenville, and they were like, the game ended. Everybody had showered. I'd showered, or maybe I was like in my towel, and they said, "Hey, put some like sliders on and a shirt, and come in the coach's office." And Thor and my pitching coach are standing in there, and they're like, "Hey, you're going to high. You're not going to travel with us." So I packed my stuff up. They left for their road trip, and I went back to the apartment, got my stuff, and I flew out the next morning. It's really not like I really don't think it's
that big of a deal.
No. I'm saying like in like say movies or like game. Like I don't think they portray it the way it actually is.
That's why I was curious.
Like you have no idea, which I think is better.
Yeah.
Because you're not thinking about it all the time. But like once you get caught, once like you're told to come into the office, it's normally for that, or it's something you did the week before that they don't appreciate.
Yeah, either way, you probably know what it's going to be for when it happens.
For sure.
That's really cool, man. Like, I don't know what I would do. But getting back to taking your brain out of the equation as far as everything. Do you do that in pretty much every aspect? Is that like your approach on life basically, as well as like you don't want to overthink everything or anything, or is that just like a exclusive to baseball thing?
I don't know. I don't know if I do like when I work out.
Yeah.
I like even my fiance can tell you we go work out all the time, and she's like, "Why don't you ever like pay me any attention?" I'm like, because
I'm not there.
I'm trying to like get after, you know what I mean? Like I turn the music all the way up, which isn't good for my ears, but I literally in college I would tell my strength coach if pitchers were only in there, I'd be like, "Hey, put it on Meek Mill, Pandora."
Yeah.
I don't want to hear anybody talking, like while I'm squatting or anything. Like I don't want to hear my thoughts. So I guess I do, but I don't know. Maybe not like out of training or practicing.
Yeah. I like that. I like that approach, man. Just not shooting from the hip, basically. It's like we're gonna just figure this thing out. It's either gonna go well or it's not gonna go well. It's not gonna change my life. I'll still wake up tomorrow anyway.
For sure. Yeah. I drive for Uber. I've been driving for Uber and Lyft too this off season, so it's like can't really zone people out in the car if they're talking.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. What's that like? Is that like you probably do pretty well if you hang out around the right spots.
Yeah, if you know what bars to go by, if you know what's happening.
Yeah.
I haven't really done like the House of Blues scene for concerts, but I mean, if you can catch the surge, I heard like CCMF, the surge is like 10 times, so people are bringing home $600 in a day.
Wow.
But I mean, I'm not here during the summer, so I might have a car up in Wilmington if I go to Wilmington this year. So I might try and do that or deliver pizzas.
The old Blue Rocks. The old Blue Rocks.
The Wilmington Blue Rocks.
You know, I was reading I was like, I'm very interested in random shit. So I was thinking Blue Rocks. I was like, why do they call them the Blue Rocks? So I started reading. And I was like, so they're like blue granite in this river apparently. And I started thinking that's got to be pretty cool to see because the only granite I've ever seen is railroad granite.
We our mascot's not well. It's like
We have 3, right?
Yeah, celery.
Yeah, he's throwing stalks of celery at the people.
Well, I guess he used to. I guess he doesn't anymore. But
Health code.
he like runs out whenever we score.
Yeah,
And like does like a dance. Like we'll do like the floss or something. Like, I told him to do the Soldier Boy one day. I think he did. I don't know. But and then you got I guess his name's Rocky. I mean,
yeah,
he's like a moose, which is kind of I don't know.
Oh
Kinda
yeah,
weird.
you
You can't really be a rock, I guess.
I know this Blue Winkle.
Yeah, Blue Winkle.
Yeah, I remember that. So I was like, man, this is hilarious. And then there's one that's just a rock, right? I think there's one that's just a rock, like just a boulder.
I don't think that I've seen. I think that I only saw the 2. Maybe they used to. I don't know. They used to have a monkey that came and I guess it like bit someone, so they can't have him back. I don't.
This is it, man.
It's
This is great. This is funny. See, at least it's better than the Braves new guy who kind of looks like the Philly fanatic.
Yeah.
But it's just not the same, man.
Well, we were the Lexington Legends, the low A team.
Yeah.
Their like logos of mustache, so their mascot's just a guy and then like a big head with a hat, and he's got this big black mustache.
Yeah, like the Sicilian.
Walleye fingers.
Yeah. It looks like Wally Fingers.
So,
That would work.
Yeah.
So,
well, hold on. Any weird minor league promotions since you've been there? Like anything crazy? Because minor leagues are famous for promotions to get into the game.
2 years ago in Idaho, they used to do this, like, you know those big like blow up bubble things that you can that like cover half your body.
yeah.
They used to do a race, like from third. They'd come out on the left field line and they'd run from third base to second base and they like bump into each other a little
like
bit.
bumper cars.
Well, I was like, we were right there in front of them in the bullpen because we sit down there all game, and we were like, y'all need to start at like an angle and have the guy in the middle at second, like in the middle of y'all, and y'all run at each other. Like that's what those are for. You don't want to see people just like running next to each other, like tapping each other with those things.
Yeah.
Like when you see people play soccer with those, they're like crushing each other. It's fun to watch, and I don't know. I just think the promotion people need some help sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
They should, and we always asked to do it, but they never would. So
I
don't know though. I haven't really.
I think the Braves in the major leagues have the best promotion.
The Freeze.
Beat the Freeze.
Oh
Dude,
yeah, that's
that
a
guy
good
is
one.
that guy
That's
is
a good
lightning.
one. Yeah.
He loses every once in a while, about every 50 races.
Yeah.
He'll beat him.
He I'd say he loses maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I don't think they show the losses
Yeah,
as much as the
probably
wins.
not.
They get what, a 60-yard head start or something? Was it a 100-yard head start? in
I
that
think
race?
they do it by seconds.
It's unbelievable watching
That I don't know. I do remember that one guy who thought he had him and was like hyping up the crowd, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
he's gone. That was hilarious.
I don't know though. I don't know if I mean I have a terrible memory. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't tell
Well,
you
if a promotion was good enough, you'd remember.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah.
So, when I was going back and asking about if you ever saw anybody throw in sidearm, but we went over that. Who were your favorite players? I look back and you sort of don't really have a team, which is I'm that way with the NFL. I don't really have an NFL team. I mean, I don't mind the Patriots because they're the Alabama of the NFL.
Yeah,
or vice versa.
I grew up watching the Patriots with my dad, so I kind of like Patriots. But for baseball, I mean, we went to some Braves games. I watched the Braves growing up. Loved Greg Maddux. Loved Rafael Furcal.
God,
Loved
he was the man. Best shortstop
Gary
ever.
Sheffield, Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, Tom Glavine. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you gotta love that. And I mean, didn't really like game. I'm from the Columbia area. Didn't really like the Gamecocks growing up. I just think it's because I didn't really go to a lot of games, so I kind of just liked the MLB or NFL as a whole.
That's actually wise, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't really get shit on for
Yeah.
not liking a team.
Exactly. You get more. I think you get more out of the game as a whole
That's
when
true.
you don't really watch it like for instance, I love college football, but if it's not a whole lot to do with Alabama, then I'm not very much interested in it.
Yeah.
But I don't care about the NFL or any NFL team at all. But I know more about the league and each individual like team than I would if I had one team to root for. And I guess the Braves is a good team to follow in baseball because everybody in the league has played for the Braves at least once. Like everybody comes to Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Or coached.
Yeah, exactly. And another funny thing, your Delaware Blue Rock, Wilmington Blue Rocks, Anibal Sanchez was a Wilmington Blue Rock of the Atlanta Braves.
I didn't know that.
He was. I was looking up noteworthy players in the league from the team. I went down this crazy Wikipedia trail last night. I was doing a little research for the show, and then I got to reading about blue rocks in riverbanks of the whatever it's called, the some river. But yeah, I ended up I was looking. I found your YouTube page, and I was.
Tough one.
Yeah, well, no, man, it was cool, man. You guys are having fun. You should do some more videos. You seem like you want. Well, when I saw you do the, I think it was called intro or something like that. You seem like you were gonna start doing like a blog or something like that, and like maybe just keeping like a video log, which I think is genius.
Yeah, I think it would be cool.
I definitely encourage you to do that.
I've started like writing letters. I want to get into writing. I think I used to love writing in high school, so I think
Same here.
I mean, I think a lot of people don't understand the minor league baseball system.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see some articles every now and then, like about people talking about it, but I mean, and maybe some major leaguers talking about their time coming up, but like say Chipper Jones wrote one, that was the minor leagues years ago. Like,
yeah.
Like the money that we make now is the same exact amount of money that our coaches were playing for in the minor leagues when they were playing. Isn't that kind of crazy?
That is crazy. I did read a little bit about that.
The major leagues has gone up like
So much
70%, and the minor leagues have stayed, which is kind of weird. But I mean,
Yeah.
but I think it would be cool to write something where fans of the game can understand what we actually go through.
Well, there's no better position than the one you're in right now to see that.
For sure.
You know? Absolutely.
And I think people have tried to talk about it, but I want to talk about it as like a whole, from training in the off season to the last day of the season to playoffs. And I'm hoping to kind of see all of it. I'm hoping to maybe play overseas, maybe play in the Arizona Fall League, play in big league spring training one day.
Yeah.
Just to see every aspect of it. I mean, I got to spend a good amount of time in low A. I got to spend a quarter of a year in high A. And I spent some time in rookie ball. Spent a couple days in extended spring training. So, I mean, it's different everywhere you go. I've lived with a host family. I've had to pay for rent. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, as a fan, I would be interested in reading that.
yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
you have so many fans out there that are fans of minor league baseball, not just major
Yes.
league baseball. You have fans that love the Pelicans,
Absolutely.
not because they're with the Cubs, but they love the Pelicans.
Yeah. I mean, they're our team. And I mean, the Braves,
And
I didn't
people
care
see
for them
them-
as much when Texas. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it just seemed like I was bitter because they weren't the Braves anymore.
Yeah.
But then the Cubbies came to town, and I've always loved the Cubbies.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Rangers are the only team that's played Coastal. The Pelicans that play, They did a thing where, like, they had their big leaguers come
Yeah.
to Pelican Stadium and they
Yeah.
played Coastal. So, like, they were playing, like, Josh Hamilton and stuff.
you
Kind
on
of
that
cool.
team?
No. It was, like, Tucker Frawley era 2010,
Wow.
2008, something
Josh
like that.
Hamilton.
I know, crazy. It was fun to watch Joey Gallo there, though. I don't know if you know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Gallo.
Oh, my gosh. Hit balls off the shed
Monsters.
out there.
Monsters. See, I miss that. I miss that. Just like you just the no doubts, the no doubt. Like you see him swing, and it's like, dude, if he touches it, it's just gone. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And you're like, this guy's going to be in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up when the Columbia Blowfish were there in Columbia.
Yeah.
They're the Columbia Fireflies now, but they were the
Tebow.
It was yeah.
He's not there anymore.
No,
Yeah,
he's in Double A.
Yeah.
But I grew up like around Capital City Bombers. That's what they were.
Okay.
The Capital City Bombers. They were the low A for the Mets or high A, and like I grew up going to a lot of games. Like we took like field trips there. It's kind of crazy, but like Jose Reyes played there.
Oh man.
Oh, dude.
Lightning.
The craziest thing ever. It was awesome watching him
fast.
play. But I mean, that's what I grew up around. So I mean, I kind of like the minor league level because we don't have a major league team in South Carolina. It kind of sucks.
Yeah. It really. Well, where would you put it?
Greenville keeps growing. You can go there.
You think?
Greenville's getting big, man.
I haven't been in forever. But
You couldn't
yeah,
see one at the beach.
A major league team in Myrtle Beach.
that'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Like North Myrtle, like at the beach. I meant like North Myrtle area or something.
If you do, if
Green Bay Packers of Major League Baseball.
no, it would. See, here's the thing. There has been talks about an expansion over like
Well,
last.
first of all, if they were to come to minor league to Myrtle Beach, we would have so many great like beach towel nights.
Oh yeah,
Meals,
the
and,
promotions would be unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're Nashville wants a team now. I think Nashville wants a major league team, and I think that they're pushing for an expansion to do that. So
They have
I mean,
a AAA team there.
Yeah.
They kill it there. They love it. Nashville loves their baseball because they,
yeah.
they like Vandy too. So
Oh yeah, exactly. And you got and they got a little bit of clout for. Nashville people are desperate for a sports team when they're out supporting hockey.
yeah,
Which I don't mean to step out
well,
of.
that's like Florida.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I hear that these places have hockey teams so that people who live in that town who are fans of other hockey teams can get to see their team come to town at least once a year.
makes sense.
Which is the same thing for the Carolina Hurricanes. 'Cause
Yeah.
let's be honest, nobody in Charlotte gives a shit about hockey.
Yeah.
And if they do, they're there to see the team
The
playing
opposing
the
team,
Hurricanes.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a home game for anybody who's away.
Well, I know a lot of people that would go to the Charlotte Hornets game when they played
Oh,
the
yeah.
Cavs
Yeah, well,
once
for
a
sure.
year.
Man, I'm glad the Hornets came back.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that Bobcats era was just strange.
They need some players though. Kemba needs some players around him.
Yes, he does. They need some more direction because if I'm not mistaken, isn't Jordan still involved very much in the front office there?
Yeah.
They really need some direction. You would think that it just seems like they're all out there just like
I mean, they went and changed their name. They went and did all these things, and then
yeah,
I mean, what's it been? 4 years since they've changed the name?
yeah, back
And nothing?
nothing, like nothing.
Not even a playoff. I don't know. I mean, I think the NBA this year, I think, is a lot more spread out. Where
Yeah.
there's more better teams.
Yeah,
And I think that was good with like Kawhi and DeRozan and all them
Yeah.
kind of moving away. But
well, I mean, James Harden right now is in a league of his own,
yeah,
doing stupid things. I don't even understand. Like he's head and shoulders over everybody else.
Russell and Paul George play great together.
Yeah,
But what can you do?
yeah, exactly. And I haven't
I
really
can
been.
see why couldn't Charlotte have a team, like an MLB team? Because the Braves are
Probably
too
could.
close.
I don't know.
I guess they have the Panthers and the Hornets. I don't know.
But that would still work because Charlotte is definitely a hub
That's what I'm saying.
for the world. Like 100%, it would work.
And I say, like, I didn't grow up around football and stuff, but I could have easily gone to a Panthers game. It's only 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
An hour away from my house. So. But my dad loved the Patriots. That's what game was on every Sunday.
Speaking of the Patriots, you want to hear an incredible statistic
Let's hear it.
of the last, like, let's see.
Jimmy's
Today-
over here hating us because the Patriots are playing for the Super Bowl in the
Yeah,
Falcons in the Falcons
It
Superdome.
could be worse. It could be the Saints.
Oh man, could be. And you know what? I don't feel bad about that at all. About the
Nobody
fact,
talks about the face mask they missed when Golf was down on the goal line. Would have made it first and goal for the Rams.
Yeah.
or the 13 points that they were. You know, you come out with a 13-point heads up, then
I think they're getting underpaid.
No, I don't.
I think the
mind
refs
people
are getting underpaid.
you think so?
Well, they missed that call.
That's an interesting theory.
But I don't mind a guy pulling for the Patriots if his dad did. I'm all about you pull for, because I've got a son, and my wife's a Gamecock fan, and I'm a Georgia fan, and people are like, who's he going to pull for? I said, he's going to pull for Georgia. Because little boys pull for who their dad pulls for.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
My dad's a Cowboys fan. I mean, hey,
Yeah, my mom's a Cowboys fan, and my fiance's whole family's a Cowboys fan. So
nightmare in it. Just kidding.
no, but I think they're getting underpaid.
It's not
'cause,
that bad.
I mean, I think they because they have a union.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they all have a Facebook page or something that they can
Yeah, surely.
all talk to each other in, and I think
About
it's
the refs?
yeah.
But a lot of those refs, if you go look at them, a lot of them are like lawyers. They're not like mechanics, and nothing wrong with
No,
mechanics.
I know.
They're high-paid jobs.
Yeah.
So they make a couple $100,000 a year doing that.
Yeah, but I think it's there's got to be some type of gray area where they're not happy with something because they should either go
Yeah.
on strike and not even do the games, or they're
Sabotaging
terrible.
everything.
They're terrible.
That one missed no call was awful. Like you can't hang your whole hat on. You can't hang the whole game on that one call. But
Well, I mean,
that was a big missed
And
call.
I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm saying, how do you call that a roughing the passer?
Yeah.
Well, shit, the Patriots won one on the tuck. Remember in the playoffs with the Raiders?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're pissed still. That one game. I don't know if you were probably 5 when that happened.
No, I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
But the incredible statistic is, I think today marks the 18 years ago that Bill Belichick took the jobs with the New England Patriots. Today is the anniversary of that. So in 18 seasons, he has gone to 9 Super Bowls.
It's crazy.
Think about that. A buddy of mine sent me, Perez actually sent me that stat earlier today and was like, dude, do you think about this? And I replied, well, Tom Brady, somebody said,
Number 7.
yeah,
6
right.
of 'em.
Yeah, exactly. He's been there. Tom Brady, if they win this Super Bowl, then Tom Brady has the equal amount of Super Bowls that the Pittsburgh Steelers have as a franchise.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Himself. Now that is an incredible statistic, but somebody was saying that one of the people who played for the Patriots and retired, that he was like, I went and talked to Tom Brady, and he was like, man, you got to get on it every play. He said, you think I do this shit to go to the Pro Bowl every year?
No, that was Brandon Spikes.
Was it? Did you read that?
Spikes was pitching about like a few years ago when he was playing for the Patriots. He was whining because he didn't make the Pro Bowl. And Tom Brady came up to him and said, Pro Bowl? You worried about a fucking Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
You do this shit for Pro Bowls?
Exactly. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Well, have y'all seen his little Facebook thing?
Brady's?
It's like
TV 12?
yeah, it's like a Facebook documentary. It's like 6 episodes. They're literally like 15, 30 minutes long each.
No.
Y'all gotta watch it. It's unbelievable. It's talking about his like off season, and it's eat, sleep, breathe. He's got a family with 2 kids, and he eats, sleeps, and breathes football in the off
Eat
season.
shit and breathe or whatever he can. And I'm not the little in him, but he, when you got the money that him and his wife, who makes more money than he does,
Yeah, that's true.
have, they can take care of the kids. I know when
Yeah.
especially when my kids were little, when I got off of work, my wife was looking for a break. There wasn't, go do
Yeah.
anything on a personal level.
That's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's got a crew in his
Yeah.
house that enables him to do.
And he
Now,
doesn't
that
eat
being said-
tomatoes, all without the help of tomatoes.
He's a vegan, I think, too.
Man, I wish I could do it.
Kelsey, I don't know if you saw, he dropped back 46 times the other day and didn't get hit.
Yeah.
He didn't get hit flush one time.
He gets rid of the ball too quick.
Well, the game's changed so much.
Yeah.
You can't hit the quarterback. Look how old some of these guys, Drew Brees, him. Manning was playing at a high level until his neck gave out.
Yeah.
These guys don't get touched, and it used to be 33, 34, their bodies would give up, but, in today's age, the quarterback is back there basically playing 7-on-7.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with Tom Brady playing another 2 seasons or 3 easily.
Yeah.
And compete and still the thing
Which is
is
crazy.
Is
That's nuts.
It is.
You think about it. He's
It
what,
is.
41?
Yeah. He's 41. He is
41.
8 years older than the head coach of his opposing team.
That's what I'm saying. Did you see that thing where Wes Welker played college football with Sean McVay?
Yeah.
Like, what?
You know what's funny? Sean McVay was the #1 high school prospect in the same league as Julian Edelman, maybe?
No.
Was it Edelman? Who was it?
No, he went to, I know this because I'm from Georgia. He went to Marist, which is it's a Catholic high school in Atlanta, and he was the player of the year. He was an option quarterback the same year Calvin Johnson came out.
Yes, Calvin Johnson, that's who it was.
Out for player of the year.
Yeah.
And then he went to...
Really?
Because the RPO wasn't Big Ben, so he went to Miami of Ohio. That's where Big Ben went.
Yep.
And played wideout there. So... But,
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
To think, man, this guy, and you look at his assistant coaches, and I mentioned this in another podcast a while back. Other than Wade Phillips, all of his assistant coaches are like his size. Best thing on the internet right now is that, have you seen the coach that his only job is to get Sean McVay out of the way?
Yeah, the strength coach.
Yeah, he's like, move back up.
Sean McVay's girlfriend?
I have not.
Oh, feel free to Google that while you're there.
Ooh, let's have a Google.
Yeah.
Did you see Tom Brady, his interview after the game, right after the game? I've never seen him, in the however many years I've been watching him, I've never seen him that tired, though. And I know it went to overtime and stuff, but, you finally, that was the first time I've ever seen him, fatigued.
He still looks great because he completed so many 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 3rd and 10s.
Yeah.
And he threw ropes. But he makes passes now every now and then in the game where they kind of die at people's feet.
Yeah.
And that would have never happened 5 years. Some of that's age.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the one that I'm worried that might be shot, and I know he's having shoulder surgery. Cam Newton threw terrible towards the end of the year. I mean, he didn't look like he did.
Well, you watch him get pass rush compared to Tom Brady. It's night and day. I mean, he's the Michael Vick of this era.
He's a giant.
Yeah.
So at what point,
Dude.
let me ask this, and I'm going to stay out of this for a little bit. At what point does Tom Brady, is it this one? He might pass Jordan as the GOAT.
I think he is.
Forget the World Championships. I'm talking about
Oh, yeah.
Jordan's considered the greatest ever at any sport among our generation. Brady might be about to pass him.
I don't know, though. He's not as athletic. You look at athleticism as a GOAT, I feel like.
Better.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
With
It's
Jordan,
better that he's not even that much of an athlete.
Which Jordan had that thing though, where if we race into the stop sign, I will beat you.
Yeah.
He had that aspect, but the strong case, and I'm going to come way out of left field here. And by the way, coming out of left field, there used to be in the original before Wrigley Field in Chicago, there was a crazy house, like a nut house. What do you call them? Asylum that was right past the left field wall. So that was crazy ideas coming out of left field. That's where that came from. The statement could be made for Kelly Slater in surfing being probably one of the greatest athletes of all time.
Yeah, it
to
just
stay
depends what you
relevant.
look at when you think of athletes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I mean, just staying relevant and competitive within your sport for X amount of time. But yeah, Tom Brady is 100% already on that list, and I don't think he's going anywhere. And even if it doesn't work out for this Super Bowl, and I don't see the Patriots losing to the Rams personally. But even if he does, that it's still not going to say anything because in the beginning of the season, what is everybody talking about? Oh, well, it's not the Patriots year.
Yeah.
Same thing they do every year.
Well, they lost their defensive coordinator, and everybody was like, "Oh, their defense is not going to be good enough to stop some of the top offenses," and
Yeah, well,
it doesn't matter.
see how that worked out.
Bill Belichick.
But this wasn't one of their better years. They were 11-5, and they still made it. I mean, 11-5.
No, yeah, this was a down year for them, which is
Lost to the Dolphins,
unbelievable
lost
as
to the
well.
Lions.
But it's the playoffs, and it's the Super Bowl, and
Listen,
Tom Brady's still in the league.
Listen, Brady, we can sit here and do all we want with Brady, and he is great. But the only thing I really hate about Brady, as far as a legacy thing goes, I think he takes away from Belichick is phenomenal. He will take an opposing team's strength, regardless of what it is, and neutralize it. I mean, Kansas City, nobody could tie Tyreek Hill or Kelso.
They were non-factors.
Not both of them. Stop them both.
Yep, he removes their biggest threat,
Yeah.
and he lets you do all you want to do otherwise, but he will remove your biggest threat.
Yeah.
And another thing though is a lot of people don't and this could be more Belichick, but I think it's more a nod to Brady, is that he just has just like Tony Romo sitting in the booth saying like he sees that there's nothing doing over here. So obviously I'm going to go to this guy who nobody's ever heard of, and I will get my yards no matter how I get them.
Brady's getting it done when everyone knows, because they watched him so long, what's going on, which is the most unbelievable thing ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you don't like these defensive linemen have been playing Brady for years.
And they still can't figure him out.
And they can't get to him.
One thing he does.
And they have new guys on the O-line every year.
Yeah.
They don't have the same team every year. It's the most unbelievable. They don't have a.
That's the most impressive part.
They don't have a Julio Jones. They don't have. I mean, they have a Gronkowski, who's one of the bigger tight ends too. They have Edelman, who's will catch 5 balls a game. But they don't have the standout running back. They don't have the standout wide receiver that you're going to see with these. That's crazy.
Never had.
They have guys that buy.
He was running wings. He was winning rings with Danny Woodhead. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. And I have a theory too that could it have been any, and not to take anything away from Tom Brady, could it have been any random fourth round pick or fourth round? What round was it? Could it have been any random quarterback that
7th, 199th, right?
Yeah.
There
you go. Could it have been any random person in the next quarterback up? Like, what if it would have been who gives a shit? Anybody else that just has Bill Belichick in their ear and just gets to sit next to that brain?
I don't know. How long? You watch some of the balls Tom throws, and it's. I mean, you can say Aaron Rodgers throws the ball harder or better. You can say Drew Brees is a better thrower.
Yeah, where's them rings?
But I mean, I don't think if you put. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think if you put another quarterback with Belichick, I don't think it's the same way. I think they have great years, but I don't think there's. I mean, Tom Brady performs.
Yes.
Like at some point, you have to perform what Belichick is asking.
No.
And Tom Brady has bought in since day one.
Oh, for sure. Now, another thing to take into equation or take into account, and I thought about this last night too when I was struggling to fall asleep, is it. You have Robert Kraft walking up to the guys all the time, like, "What do you need? Like, are you okay? Like, is everything going well?" You don't have that anywhere else, I don't think.
I mean, maybe a couple other teams, but
but he seems very like he's and not in the Jerry Jones way, but he seems very like positively involved in the team.
I tell you what's crazy about going back to baseball and that what you're talking about is Dayton Moore is so personable. I mean, for the Royals. Yeah. And it's crazy. It's like, I mean, I don't know how it is with other MLB teams because I've never been with them, but like during spring training, he's talking to all the guys in the minor leagues, knows them by name, knows what school they're from, knows if they were drafted, what round, like all these. He's got front office guys that know everything about you and you've never met them. I mean, like, it's their job, and they go to that level to make you feel like you're there for a reason,
and that makes you play harder for them, correct?
Absolutely. I want to be a. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, whatever opportunity I have to get to the major league level is what I want, and if that's getting traded, then that's fine. But I would love to make my major league debut with the Royals. I think that would be one of the coolest things, just because of the people in the organization.
Man, fantastic franchise, dude. Bo Jackson.
He was in spring training last year. Talked to us. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
George Brett.
Hagen. Oh.
Yeah, man.
George Brett, the man.
Dude, fantastic franchise. And plus, you had the World Series visit a couple years ago. That was nice. See, I'm really confused. I'm really confused about the fact that a lot of, and it's cool for you because you didn't have a team, you didn't have like one that you really wanted to.
Yeah,
like,
if I had like been a Brave, if I had been like a diehard Braves fan,
like nothing would work until you get in that jersey.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And I guess I'm not really confused, but I'm just never really known how players dealt with that. Like if
Well, you know what's crazy is we used to have a jersey day.
yeah
Every Friday we wore our jerseys in 2016. It was our thing. Like going into a Friday night game, we'd all wear like a professional jersey or college jersey from a professional athlete. And looking back on it, like you had maybe a couple guys that were like fans of an MLB team.
yeah
But baseball players I've noticed this, baseball players are fans of players.
the game. Oh yeah.
Like I'm a fan of Greg Maddux. Not a fan of the Braves, I'm a fan of Greg Maddux because I can relate to him. Like we don't throw hard.
Yeah.
We like to hit our locations with our pitches. And like you see hitters like they love someone's swing, so they're naturally going to be a fan of theirs.
Yes.
But I mean, I think it's, like now that we're talking about it, I think that's cool. Like that you don't see a lot. I think that's different with major leaguers. Like with NFL, you might have guys that like love the Patriots and are diehard Patriots and want to be drafted by the Patriots. But I think with baseball, it's a little different.
Yeah, baseball sort of fosters that. In like if you really get baseball, it sort of makes you a fan of the sport more so than a team. And I've said that for a very long time. It's more important, I think, to be a fan of a sport than of a particular team.
Now I'll probably get shit for saying this, but the Astros won it 2 years ago.
Yeah,
They were so fun to watch.
yeah, it
Boston
was.
Red Sox last year, so fun to watch.
All these young kids.
And I mean, I'll root for them if they're playing like that. I'll root for them.
Hell yeah.
I mean, hopefully, I'm on a team like that one day. But
Man, I'm just stoked that my boy Evan Gaddis and Brian McCann finally got a ring after all those years. Like Evan Gaddis is my boy.
Freddie needs to get one.
Freddie deserves one. So, but he'll smile that beautiful smile either way. But man, he really deserves a ring.
Yeah.
But then going back to what I was saying earlier too is before we started recording, I'm really excited that we've got Brian McCann back for 1 year, whether he plays or not, and Nick Markakis as well, just to be that veteran in the room, in the locker room, to give Freddie one more year to really just basically take up that baton, and take on that role as the veteran.
That was a big thing for the Cubs too when they had
Hayward?
No, catcher.
Ross.
Ross, and then
David
they had
Ross.
Lester on the mound for the pitching staff. I mean,
That's a big deal.
When you have guys like that in your locker room, nothing can really go wrong.
And plus, man, Rossi is just the happiest person in the world, it seems like. He seems like you cannot be in a bad mood around this guy.
Absolutely.
And you really need people like that. And I sort of feel the same way about Brian McCann. He just seems like that just ball of happiness.
Yeah, and catchers control the game. I mean,
exactly.
From a pitcher control the game with where what the ball does, but the catchers have ultimate control of the game pretty much because they can see everything.
They see everything, yeah.
So I mean, it'll be an interesting year for baseball for sure. I think there's
really
a lot of good teams this year.
There's a lot of good teams this year, and I'll tell you what, any team that you land on is going to be better for having you there. I do have one more thing to say, and we're going to wrap this up here shortly. Try to keep this on around the hour mark. We're a little over now, but when you were saying earlier that you sort of wanted to have the opportunity to get out and go around and hit the play overseas and such. In my reading last night about sidearm pitchers, that is a huge deal in Japan.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of sidearm pitchers and submarine pitchers in Japan.
They love American baseball players too.
Yes, they do. And those bat flips are just outrageous. But do you have any interest at all in going over there and just pedaling around and seeing if there's anything that can be learned or anything that you might be able to add to their situation over there? Or
I think that would be cool. I think I've had a couple coaches in the past that said they've taken their family over there and done it, and having a 1-year-old daughter, I mean, obviously,
Yeah, for sure.
being away from
That's
her
priority.
for 7 months is already tough.
Yeah.
With the Royals, but if there was something where I could take Summer and Blakely to Japan with me, or the Dominican or Venezuela, obviously that's something I would love to do.
It's baseball country down there, man.
Baseball and family, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, we'll get there when that comes. If there's an opportunity that presents itself this fall, we'll talk about it and we'll see. But
Right on. James, do you have anything that we might not have covered that you'd like to?
What's his thoughts on the coaching change at Coastal for football?
Joe Moglia stepping down.
You know that?
He's actually. I didn't know that he was actually out. I thought it was just a rumor.
No. He had a press conference and everything.
Yeah. I think Joe Moglia did an unbelievable job with the football program. I mean, he did a lot for Coastal athletics in general.
Absolutely, he did.
Put a lot of money into it.
Yeah. No, that's what I was. Is he just stepping out of coaching, or is he walking away completely?
He's staying in the.
Okay.
Isn't he doing something?
The chairman of football.
Yeah.
operations.
Okay.
So he kind of has a
That's-
hand and stuff. Still.
That's still good. That's still good.
He'll still probably be at all the practices and stuff. I mean, but you don't find a guy like that too often. I mean,
Yeah.
selfless enough to pretty much pay to have a job.
Yeah, exactly, and well off enough to make it happen. You know.
I mean,
Actually,
he-
did a pretty decent job at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do a.
He's like a real life Brewster's Million.
I mean, he got. I'm not-
Saw that movie.
I'm not gonna say he got Coastal into the Sun Belt, but I mean he got
He
Coastal
helped a
into
lot.
the Sun.
Yeah, he got
They
close.
moved into the Division One.
I
Football
mean,
was him. That's what he wanted.
when Coastal football looks back in 25 years, I hope they're renaming the stadium
Oh, for sure.
for him.
That'll happen.
That I know Josh Norman threw some money in there this past year, but sorry, bud.
Yeah, it ain't yours to.
Mowgli is kind of
Yeah, a little higher on the totem pole
put his
here.
name in the athletics program. I mean, him and Gary, and I think between basketball, Cliff Ellis, which is,
Yeah,
I mean, they've made the round of 64 twice in the last 8 years. I mean,
that's not bad for little old Coastal.
yeah, I mean, basketball program's not really looked up to as
Yeah.
a coastal athletic program, but I think that between Cliff Ellis and Gary Gilmore and Joe Moglia in the past 8 years, the hiring of Matt Hogue, the athletic director,
Yeah.
has been a big part. And Dr. David DeCenzo has really helped out with that too. I mean, they were in Omaha. They were at all of our playoff games. I mean,
That's got to make you guys feel like.
especially Dr. DeCenzo. I mean, like having someone from the school, not just the
Yeah.
athletic program, which is cool. I mean, I'm sure that happens with all the schools, but I mean, seeing that from a
But you
first-
experienced it. Not a
having
lot
him,
of. Not a lot
having
of
him on the plane, and
Yeah.
that's cool.
All right, a couple more questions, quick ones. Best you ever played with the Coastal?
Best year?
The best teammate you ever had at Coastal?
Oh man.
You get narrowed to one or two if you want. Or who was the best player you ever saw Coastal have while you were there? Excluding yourself.
Best player I ever saw play at Coastal while I was there.
I don't
All right, I'll go with 3. I'll go smartest player
All right,
I ever played with, Zach Remillard.
that's third baseman, Kelsey.
The third baseman, national championship team from New York. He's with the White Sox.
We won't hold it against him.
Best player, I don't know. I would say probably Michael Paez.
Oh yeah, he's good. I forgot about him. I was thinking.
I don't know.
I was
Best.
thinking choices for you. The choices are tough. You got Marks, you got Morrison, you got Paez.
Well, I was gonna say like best overall like player slash teammate slash person, Mike Morrison. I'd say best infielder I ever played with, Michael Paez. Best outfielder, Anthony Marks.
Best in the dugout.
Best in the dugout.
Yeah, who's you can plead the fifth. We can do this like Andy Cohen if you want.
No, I'm trying to think. Probably Colin Herring or Austin Kerr.
All right, and then finally, are they going to be any good this year? They're ranked. They got a tough schedule this
They
year.
should be if they can stay healthy. Barry Littman and his staff can keep them healthy. I think they're going to be. I think they have a chance of hosting another regional. Hopefully, it turns out differently this year. But
Kelsey, we got to get you out to sing a national anthem.
Yeah,
Have you ever done one?
never,
Ever sing the national anthem?
not once.
All right, I want to work on that for you.
for sure,
We'll put Nancy on that.
yeah.
I'll do it. I'll do the anthem. I've never done that. That's a bucket list thing.
They'll let you. I mean, they they got a lot of games, so they need people to sing
Yeah.
the anthem.
I
If
think-
not, they go with the record.
I think this is one of their lower home. Like they don't have as many home games as they had in the past. But I mean, they're still
They're doing that Seattle
56
tournament.
games, probably 20 home games.
Well, they're doing. They normally have everybody come here, and
Yeah, and this year
Well-
they're going to Seattle.
it's really
Yeah.
cool. Have you seen who they're playing, Kelsey?
No, I haven't.
It's like Houston and
Oregon State.
Washington or something.
Washington, who was good last year.
Yeah.
Oregon State, who's been great.
Yeah.
And whatever happened to that pedophile pitcher?
What?
We almost signed him this past season.
You never heard about him, Kelsey?
No, there's a pedo pitcher?
There's a pitcher for Oregon State who was a top pitcher in the country. And it
Lefty that throws like
Came out, you tell the
94,
story about it.
95. He
Huh.
I can tell the story if you don't
The-
name to it.
the thing you can tell it, but I'll say this: there was a case that happened when he was
Like 14.
15,
Yeah.
and it resurfaced his sophomore year or junior year of college at Oregon
Yeah.
State when they were in Omaha, like right before Omaha.
It was supposed to be buried. And
It was
thrown
supposed
out.
to be buried and thrown out, and it resurfaced
Oh,
in
man.
an article, and he stepped away from that team that year, and
Rightfully so.
This past year, he came back, and I think it's kind of blown out of proportion. I think
Oh,
like
it's 100% blown.
I
out.
think there's a lot
Yeah.
of gray area with it, and I
There's
think
a lot
something
with any
I think
subject.
something didn't.
It's what happened in a brief nutshell, Kelsey. Something happened that he disagreed with. His lawyer said guilty plea. They're going to throw this out. It'll be off your record in 18 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're 18, just plead out and let's move on.
So he pled.
So he pled out, and now it's all.
He's looked
all
at as a
came back and bit him
pedophile.
in the ass.
Man.
And it bit him because somebody released it that wasn't supposed to. Now the awkward moment of the whole thing is it was with a family member.
Yeah, a distant cousin or a second cousin
Yeah.
or something.
That's
She
never
was
good,
young.
man.
It was one of those ones where he said that he touched him, he said he didn't.
Well, he was like 13 or 15, and
Yeah,
she
he
was
young.
5.
It's crazy. The whole story. Crazy.
Yeah, you got to read
Yeah.
up on it. It's
Yeah.
definitely
Well,
like.
in 2019, you pick up a rock, you find a pedophile. You know, I mean, it's
Well, you know what's crazy is he'll. I mean, if God willing, I mean, I think he'll be a big leaguer one day. He's
Yeah.
he's the Casey Mize left-hander of college baseball, who
Okay.
was taken first overall by Detroit Tigers this past year, and if he becomes a big leaguer, he will be a E60 or 30 for 30. That's what type of thing it is. It's like so. I mean, it's something you should like
Well,
just for like
Yeah.
just a case that's
yeah. I'm gonna
like
definitely look into that.
crazy.
yeah, and the thing about it is there's no other cases. Usually there's, when something happens, there's more than one. There's a pattern of behavior.
Yeah.
And I think the more that he keeps throwing and the more he keeps playing and the pattern doesn't resurface himself, I think it'll go away. So if he goes and plays,
Well,
Yeah.
what's crazy is like his aunt and uncle came out with like a statement that's the parents of the girl.
Yeah. The
And, like,
accuser.
They just despise him. There's
Wow.
there's something going on.
Family problems.
Yeah.
That's some.
And supposedly he's a great dude. Like
Yeah.
his teammates loved him. They didn't know why he stepped away, but he said it was so the spotlight wasn't on me. It's on the team,
yeah.
which is
Honorable.
yeah.
That's an honorable thing to do. I hate the
They'll be good
circumstances
again
of
this
it.
year too. Oregon State will be really good this year again too. That's gonna be a good game. I hope it's televised.
Well, they'll be
Coastal,
online.
Oregon
They'll be
State.
online regardless.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they get this? Isn't there this? What's that new network or whatever, Jimmy?
Well, the Sun Belt, all the games are on ESPN3, so I'm sure it'll be.
Yeah.
So, can you sneak like your phone or something like when you're in the bullpen and let's say you pitch and you know you're not pitching for 4 days? What can you get away with in the bullpen? Nothing.
It depends where the bullpen is. I've seen people take their phone. I've like been there when people had their phones out. It depends where the bullpen is, because like Greenville, you're in right center field behind the fence.
Yeah.
So like, people have their phones out there. Like for the All-Star game or the Home Run Derby, we were in the middle of a game in Greenville and people had their phones out there watching Bryce Harper hit bombs. Which people can say what they want, but I don't know if he was doing it the right way.
Here's a question: Are these guys trying to get more money wrongfully? Or are they just holding out for the right thing? How would you handle the situation? Say you were Bryce Harper or Manny Machado or like Real Muto. What would you do in their situation?
I think you got to look at it this way. Your top starting pitchers are getting paid hundreds of millions
Yes.
of dollars. Your top infielders and outfielders are getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yes.
Manny Machado, as a baseball player,
Yeah.
on the field, is a top 5 player in the MLB.
Yeah. In his position, or is that just overall?
Third or short. As an infielder,
Yeah.
he is a top 5 MLB player.
Yes. And he's not making the top 5
I'm
money.
not saying he deserves the money. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he doesn't deserve the money. But if you're going to pay a starting pitcher that's not the best pitcher in the league hundreds of millions of dollars for strikeouts and
Yes.
wins, technically, why aren't you going to pay the top infielder hundreds of millions of dollars to hit home
Yeah.
runs?
That's very true.
Fans come to the game.
As long as he won't run out of gas on the way to first.
You're
yeah,
not gonna hustle.
yeah. Fans come to game to see home runs and pitchers strike people out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think, and I'm not a player, but they're saying the problem is none of these 10-year deals are working out,
Yeah,
and they want us to cut them back to 5 to 6.
Now, here's another thing. Do you and from a pitcher standpoint,
now
you,
Bryce Harper, I don't know.
I haven't seen him do much lately, man.
But the thing is with him,
He's a face.
he's a face of Under Armour.
Yeah.
Came up out of high school, out of JUCO, was the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm staying away from that one. I don't know.
I hear you. Now,
Didn't he get offered though $300 million for 10 years?
Something
with
stupid.
with Washington.
yeah, yeah.
So he's turned down big money.
Yeah, but I think that I feel like that's a locker room situation in Washington. They haven't been right. You had Strasburg and Scherzer arguing like they're.
I have a couple friends in the organization, and they said that he's not everything he is put out to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
well,
I mean,
I haven't thought so. What was he batting like 250
no, I'm saying as a
as a
human
person?
being.
Hothead stuff.
Yeah.
See, you don't want that in your locker room.
But you're gonna have 1 to 2 guys in every locker room like that.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about baseball. You have every type of personality. No matter what team you're on, you're gonna have one type of every personality.
Where do you think Craig Kimbrell's going to land?
come back to Atlanta.
I think they like him in Boston.
Yeah, he'll probably end up staying there.
I don't know though.
Or-
I like him. I'm a fan. I mean, people give him a lot of shit for. The dude has saved more games than all the top. What was it? The top 8.
Yeah.
He saved like twice as many games as they did through this period of time.
Yeah.
30 or something.
And granted, I know Smoltzy wasn't a closer for very long in Atlanta, but I mean, in a season and a half, he beat Smoltzy's save record.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive numbers, man.
I'll give it to him that he hasn't been the guy that he was when he first
Yeah.
got big, but I mean,
Who can be? I mean, it could have just been an off season. I mean,
he's what, 30, 31, 32?
yeah, probably 30, I think.
I don't know. I mean, I think he's still one of the best.
He is. I really think that I want in my heart I want to see our bullpen strengthen up in Atlanta. Which here's the thing though, we have so many great prospects in the minors that are gonna be playing in the show very soon. That I understand why we're not signing anything, but it's so frustrating when you see all of the teams making big deals, and all we've done is give Josh Donaldson $28 million for 1 year.
Well, that's like the Le'Veon Bell thing. Like,
Yeah,
like you hear about it every day on SportsCenter. Like, you don't want to hear that as a fan. Like,
exactly.
You want to hear what happened the night before in games. You don't like. He's holding out for publicity.
this is soap operas now.
Yeah.
It says, who cares? We want to know what happens in the game. You talking about practice? Talking about a game? Talking about practice? Well, I will ask you this. No matter how far you go into this baseball venture, if you would just give me an hour once a year
Absolutely.
to talk about this random stuff, hopefully I'll still be doing this thing. That would be awesome. So, any final thoughts or final words you want to leave with anybody who might hear this later, or something for yourself to hear yourself say in 10 years from now?
Glad you're doing the things you need to do for yourself. Glad you're doing the things that you're doing for your family. Keep grinding.
That's honorable as F. Oh, that's honorable as fuck. I'm going to say it, Jimmy. I'm trying to not curse so bad.
Hey, you're a grown man.
I know, yeah, I know the kids might be watching this one.
Is I was on my drive over here and I was thinking like I'll cuss every now and then, like in front of my 1-year-old daughter, and
They don't start really retaining things.
but it's not. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like, what if she says it in school like one day?
Yeah.
But like, who cares? It's a word.
Who cares? It's not going to change anything. In the Bible Belt, people might look a little side eye to it, but who cares?
But I mean, who made? I don't know. That's a whole other day, whole other topic. But who made profanity words? Profanity words.
Right? I mean, in the Bible, they talk about all kinds of stuff.
Hell and damn.
Yeah, right.
But
anyway, well, I
bring it
appreciate
back.
you being here,
Absolutely.
man. I definitely good luck to you. I'm sure you don't need it. You're gonna be just fine, and we're gonna be keeping
I
up with you, and
appreciate
we'll definitely have you back. Ryan Young actually is gonna come and do an episode too. So,
I'll tell you what. I was just about to say this. If you're interested in staying with the baseball thing, I mean, Ryan Young was a huge piece in what we did. Those 3 years he was there for me. But I mean, he was there the whole way the year we won it.
Yeah.
And I mean, he deserved what he's doing now. And I'd say if you ever want to cover baseball, I mean, you can talk to me, you talk to Jimmy, you can talk to
Perfect.
anyone about getting in there, because they're missing out on something right now. Something special is going on at Coastal, and
Absolutely.
people aren't getting what they need. And Ryan Young was doing that.
well, that's so good to hear, because I love Ryan. He's great people, and I'm glad to hear that he's doing things that need to be done for the sport. Please write that
I got one more
that
question.
thing that you were talking about writing.
Oh yeah,
Write that.
I want to.
Do that.
Ryan, I like that. Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
What's Gary Gilmore mean to you?
I mean, he's I don't even know. He's because I'm where I am today because of him. That's what I'll say.
Gary Gilmore did it. It's his fault.
Yeah, his fault in a good way.
Well, then that's good, man. There's no better way to end it than that.
No,
That's beautiful.
Him and Drew Thomas took me in. I don't even know. I'd like to play this voicemail he's got for me. You can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch this.
You gonna plug it? Well, they'll hear it.
I don't know if I wonder if he'll hear this. This is him. This is November 13th, 2012. The year I committed to Coastal Carolina. And I'll say this, Mike Morrison has a set of text for saying that he can't wait to win a national championship with you, Coach Gilmore. And that'll give you chills.
Oh, man.
Let's see if I can play it.
Andrew, Coach Gilmore here at Coastal. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Listen, just want to reach out to you and say hello, and just excited about you signing with Shawnee Clears and being a big part of our pitching staff and help be a big piece that takes us to Omaha. So give me a buzz when you get a chance. Like I said, just call and say hello.
That's awesome.
Tell me that ain't crazy.
He knew then.
Yeah, that's a great way.
That's perfect. Well, there's nothing we can do to follow that. Ladies and gentlemen, Brother Andrew Beckwith, so good to have you here, my friend. Can't wait till next time. YouTubers, hang tight for just a second. I got some links for you to click as soon as I do this intro. But audio folks, be good people out there in the world. In a world full of shitty people, don't be one of those people. Be a good person and make every effort to be that person. Peace, bitches. YouTubers, hang tight for just a second. I got an intro for you. Hey, guys, how you living? You doing well? Good. Glad to hear that. So in this outstanding episode, I have my new friend, Dap, Brother Andrew Beckwith. You'll find out in a very, very, very soon why he's called Dap. It's very interesting. Not what I thought, but interesting. We talked about the inner works of the minor leagues and baseball and all sorts of really cool things. And this was not a sports talk, but it was definitely sports related. So this is definitely going to be still released as a actual episode, not a sports talk. But we will have a sports talk coming to you very soon, where we'll be keeping up with things in the league. But a lot of insight from a very, very, very smart person that you are not things that you would not have known otherwise. You're about to hear now. So we kept it somewhere around the hour and 20-minute mark, I think. So it's not a brutal listen, and even though it is still going to be an outstanding bit of information that you're going to be hearing here soon. So anyway, very excited for you to get to the content and do that. By the way, please go to our Facebook page. Go to MI Stuff Podcast on Facebook. Go to MI Stuff Podcast on Instagram. Follow the Instagram, MI Stuff Podcast 1, the number 1 on Twitter. Go to YouTube, Kelsey Hudgens, KELSEYHUDGINS, and click subscribe. And please do all the things, share them, share all the pages. We're trying to get a little bit of exposure for this, and I think that's all I got for you. As far as things to watch, I did watch the Fire documentary on Netflix last night, which was incredible and embarrassing, too, for the guy who created it. So definitely watch that. There's also another show called Abduction, or American Abduction in America, or something like that. And it was just really freaky, really kind of freaked me out. So watch that. It's on Netflix. And I'll see you again. Watch Murder Mountain. 3 very good things to watch on Netflix that if you got $8, just give it to the people. They deserve it. And for those out there stealing passwords and other people's accounts, roll tide. Stay with it. All right. So I think that's all I got for you, folks. Please click all the links, share all the pages, go to all the pages, follow everything, do that. Next week, episode 100 coming up on Wednesday. Got Ashley Justice going to be in the house, and Then the following Sunday, myself and Patrick Hanna are going to be doing our another series of deep dives into the Harry Potter series. It'll be part 2 of that, and we'll be going over the entire Sorcerer's Stone. This is the nerdiest thing you've ever heard, right? We're going to be doing a deep dive into the first book and movie and doing differences and all of that. So that'll be part 2 of the Harry Potter talk, and I'll be getting February dates together. Brother Billy Wright, Myrtle Beach legend, is going to be coming in with member of Sawgrass for years. He's going to be coming to do an episode. We're even going to get Repack to sit on the couch and do some and look up some stats. He wants to be a stat guy, so we're going to let him do that. So that's going to happen. We'll have to get Dap to come in here and throw some biscuits at him first, though. All right, guys. Well, please click all the links. Anything that you can share, please do that. Let's get some exposure out of this podcast, and let's. It's been a damn good 99 episode, and this is a fantastic episode to come up in number 99 with. So anyway, without further ado, episode number 99 of MI Stuff featuring Andrew Beckwith. Enjoy, motherfuckers. YouTubers, click the links at the bottom of the page. If you're watching live, they're not there right now. They will be soon, so please do that. I love you. I mean it. Be a good person. Don't be a shitty person. Peace.